Dear children, today's our lesson is every success story is also a story of great failures. It is a very inspirational story. It was written by Shiv Khera. He is an Indian author. He has written several books including You Can Win. Here is the glossary. Senatorial. Senate is a legislative body in countries like the US. Quit, give up, overcome, to defeat or succeed in controlling or dealing with something. Detour, a longer route. Beat up, old and damaged. Recipe, a method or idea that is likely to have a desired result. Knock, hit to call or rap. Setbacks, difficulties or problems that delay results. Humility, humble. Stumbling block, something that causes problems. Burning, here adjective, very strong. Ducked, pushed underwater and held there. Gasp, take a quick deep breath. Cinch, a thing that is certain to happen. Fraudulent, intended to cheat someone. Dear children, look here. Here are some statements. Failure is the highway to success. All success stories are stories of great failures. Success begins with a fellow's will. Tom Watson Sr. said, if you want to succeed, double your failure rate. Napoleon Hill says that whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. All the above statements are followed by successful people. So, dear children, think once about these statements. Now, here is the brief histories of some persons. Let me share someone's life histories with you. Here is the story of Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln was failed in business at the age of 21. At the age of 22, he defeated in a legislative race. At the age of 24, he failed again in business. At the age of 26, his wife was died. At the age of 27, he had a nervous breakdown. At the age of 34, he lost a congressional race. At the age of 45, he lost a senatorial race. At the age of 47, failed in an effort to become Vice President of America. At the age of 49, he again lost a senatorial race. But at the age of 52, he was elected President of the United States, that is America. Dear children, would you call him a failure? Here is another story of Lee De Forest. In 1913, Lee De Forest was charged by the district attorney for using fraudulent means to mislead the public into buying stocks of his company by claiming that he could transmit the human voice across the Atlantic. He was publicly humiliated. But he invented the Audion, a vacuum tube. He invented the Triers tube and others. Dear children, can you imagine where we would be without his invention? Let me tell you about Wright brothers. Can you imagine the world without aeroplanes now? It's all because of Wright brothers. In 1903 December 10, a New York Times editorial questioned the wisdom of the Wright brothers. Is it possible to fly with a machine heavier than air? But 1 week later, they took their famous flight. All the world surprised. At the same time, a New York Times editorial now praised the wisdom of the Wright brothers. Dear children, do you know Colonel Sanders? How many doors did he have to knock on before he got his first order? He had knocked on more than 1,000 doors to get his first order. At the age of 65, with $100 check, he started a recipe and went out to selling. He knocked 1,000 doors. Dear children, how many of us quit after 3 tries, 10 tries, 100 tries? And then we say, we tried as hard as we could. But Colonel Sanders knocked more than 1,000 doors for his first order. Thus his recipe name is KFC, that is Kentucky Fried Chicken. Here is another story of Walt Disney. Walt Disney was a cartoonist. He rejected many times from newspaper editors. But one day, he saw a small mouse where he was working near a church drawing some cartoons. After seeing a small mouse, he was inspired. After that, he created fictional characters including Mickey Mouse. He became an American animator, film producer, director, screenwriter, voice actor, entrepreneur, and philanthropist. That is his story. Dear children, successful people don't do great things. They do small things in a great way. So, dear children, don't neglect your studies. Start your studies in this lockdown period. Here is another life history about Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison was partially deaf. At 4 years old, his teacher sent him out of the school with a note in his pocket. The note is, "Your Tommy is too stupid to learn. Get him out of the school." His mother read the note and answered, "My Tommy is not stupid to learn. I will teach him myself." He had only 3 months of formal schooling. Before inventing the light bulb, he failed 10,000 times. In 1914, at the age of 67, his factory, which was a few $1 million, was burnt. It had a very little insurance. Edison watched his lifetime effort go up in smoke and said, "There is great value in disaster. All our mistakes are burnt up. Thank God we can start anew." In spite of the disaster, after 3 weeks, he invented the phonograph. This was his attitude. His other inventions: atomic vote recorder, telegraph device, electric pen, and so on. Dear children, do you consider these people failures? They took the failures as stepping stones. They took the failures as highway to success. They follow the rule, failing forward. What is failing forward? Learn from your failures and keep moving. After every failure, you bounced back. You learn and move forward rather than backward. This is called as failing forward. Here is some other failures of successful people. Henry Ford forgot to put reverse gear in the first car made by him. Lee Iacocca was fired by Henry Ford too at the age of 54. He was an American businessman known for engineering the Ford Pinto cars. Young Beethoven was commented that he had no talent for music, but he gave best music to the world. So, dear children, setbacks are inevitable in life. A setback can act as a driving force and also teach us humility. In grief, you will find courage and faith to overcome the setback. We need to learn to become victors, not victims. Fear and doubt short-circuit the mind. Ask yourself after every setback, what did I learn from this experience? Only then you will be able to turn a stumbling block into a stepping stone. Dear children, Here is a small story to the secret to success. If you want to know the secret to success, listen carefully. One day, a young man asked Socrates the secret to success. Socrates told the young man to meet him near the river the next morning. They met at the river next morning. Socrates asked the young man to walk with him towards the river. When the water got up to their neck, Socrates took the young man by surprise and ducked him into the water. The boy struggled to get out, but Socrates was strong and kept him there until the boy started turning blue. Then Socrates pulled his head out of the water, and the first thing the young man did was to gasp and take a deep breath of air. Socrates then asked, "What did you want the most when you were there in the water?" The boy replied, "Air." Socrates said then, "That is the secret to success. When you want success as badly as you wanted the air, then you will get it. There is no other secret." The motivation to succeed comes from the burning desire to achieve a purpose. A burning desire is the starting point of all accomplishments. Just like a small fire cannot give much heat, as well as a weak desire cannot produce great results. So, dear children, don't stop until you reach the goal. Thank you for watching. Dear children,